You ever wonder how some people just seem to avoid debt almost effortlessly? Well, for so many of us, it's a constant battle. Well, what if I told you the secret isn't some complex budget spreadsheet or a life of extreme sacrifice? What if it's something way simpler? Something that's literally all around us, the size of our homes. Let's dive into this surprising connection between living small and staying financially free. And this quote just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? Debt rarely kicks down your door. No, it's a slow creep. You get a bigger place, so you need nicer furniture. And then the bills are just a little bit higher. And before you know it, that's your new normal. It's that constant, quiet process of upgrading that gets you into trouble.
So that brings up a really interesting question, because it's not always about making more money or giving up on comfort. So what's their secret weapon? What are they doing differently to stay out of this debt trap? And the answer, believe it or not, is their homes. Their actual living spaces are quietly, almost invisibly, protecting them from financial overreach. This isn't about having more willpower. It's about designing an environment where being financially stable is just the default setting.
Okay, so how in the world does that actually work? Well, it all starts with lowering what's called your financial baseline. Think of it as the absolute minimum amount of money you have to spend each month just to live. This is the foundation of everything.
I mean, just look at this. It's so straightforward it's almost easy to miss. A smaller home simply costs less, period. Your mortgage or rent is lower, right? Your utility bills, heating, cooling, electricity, they're all more manageable. And there's just less stuff to break, which means fewer surprise repair bills. The constant financial pressure on you is just lighter.
But here's the real game changer. It's not just about lower costs. It's about predictability. When your bills are stable and manageable, you can breathe. You can actually plan your life. A surprise expense, like, your car needing a new transmission, doesn't have to be a full-blown crisis that sends you running to a credit card. It just takes so much emotional pressure off, and it lets your savings be your actual safety net instead of relying on debt.
And all that stability helps you fight off one of the absolute sneakiest debt traps out there, lifestyle inflation. And this is where your home stops being just a place to live and starts acting like a financial guardrail.
You know this cycle. We've all seen it. You get a raise, you get a better job, and the first thought is, great, I can afford more. So you move into a bigger place. And what happens next? Suddenly, you've got empty rooms that need furniture, bigger walls that need art, and a whole new, higher standard of living to keep up with. Your spending just naturally expands to fill the space you're in.
But a smaller home? It short-circuits that whole process. It acts as a physical barrier. You literally can't keep upgrading and buying more and more stuff if there's just no room for it. The four walls of your home become this amazing natural boundary that stops you from overspending. So it works in a few key ways. First, it puts a natural cap on how much you can even buy. But it also eases that social pressure, that need to keep up with the Joneses. When you've got fewer empty spaces whispering in your ear, tempting you with a big, expensive renovation, you just feel more stable. You don't have that nagging feeling that you're constantly falling behind.
And this leads to something even deeper, a real psychological shift. When your space is limited, you are forced to be more intentional. You have to be. And it completely reshapes your relationship with all the stuff in your life.
I mean, just check out the difference in mindset. With a big space, you're often just trying to fill it up, right? It encourages that buy now, figure it out later attitude. But in a small space, whoa, every single item has to earn its spot. You automatically start shifting from chasing trendy disposable junk to investing in quality things that will last, because you know you're going to be living right next to it for a long time.
And this quote just says it all, perfectly. The focus shifts from just emotionally filling a void to practical function. And that one simple change can stop you from going thousands of dollars into debt on furniture you didn't even really need.
And that brings us to our final and maybe the most powerful point of all, how a small home acts as your own personal impulse spending shield. This is where physical limits create real financial freedom.
So, an impulse purchase. We've all been there. You see something, you want it, you get that little rush, and you buy it. You're not really thinking about the consequences, not just for your bank account, but where is this thing actually going to live?
Now look at how this plays out differently. In a big house, that impulse buy feels pretty harmless. You can always find a closet or an empty corner to shove it in. But in a small home, that same purchase is suddenly a huge pain. There's nowhere to hide it. You feel the cost immediately, not just in your wallet, but in your physical space. And that friction? That is a powerful, powerful deterrent.
So your home basically grows its own defense system. Limited storage puts a hard stop on just collecting more and more stuff. That physical friction forces you to stop and ask, for real, where am I going to put this? And because you can see most of what you own, you're way less likely to buy something you already have. It just makes those emotional, in-the-moment purchases so much harder to justify.
And this quote is the perfect way to think about it. It's not about gritting your teeth and forcing yourself to have more willpower. It's about living in a space that creates natural boundaries for you. Your home is doing the heavy lifting.
So, the big takeaway here is this. Your environment is your strategy. Living smaller isn't about restriction. It's a tool. It's a tool that automatically changes your behavior, keeps your costs low and predictable, and makes being thoughtful with your money the easiest choice. It protects you and your wallet so that debt just can't get a foothold in your life.
So I'll leave you with one final thought to chew on. Take a look around your own space, right now, and ask yourself this question. Is my home designed to make me buy more stuff, or is it designed to give me more freedom? The answer might be more important than you think.